I was going to do a video. I was trying to beat the clock and do it for midnight, but tech problems. And I didn't want to do it here because this is on the porch. So I'm kind of not sure because I was talking about a bunch of stuff, introducing the dog posse. I think I did that before though. I gotta look through my videos to see if I did an introduction of these dogs. I think I did. I might have just talked about it. Anyway, 3 has grown to 5, and I was sharing that, and I was gonna go into the interpretation of my video because people taking it a different way, and it's like that's not where I was. It's funny because the video was about freedom. People talked about relationships. The response was like I was talking about relationships, and I wasn't. If you are losing, knowing whether or not you'll have options, just like in the thing that comes to mind is in China. They can't, well, I'm not sure about the facts, but I was told that they are not able to have Bibles or something like that. And so when they go to a religious store, their options are limited because they are not able to obtain a Bible. And that tells you about their freedom with religion. It's because it really is, it comes to that. Just right now, when you're going into a grocery store, there's no option not to wear a mask. And therefore, there's only one option, and you have to put on a mask. The only option you have is which kind of mask you want to put on. You want to design a mask, you want to put a scarf around you, whatever, but you got to put something on your face, right? If you go into a government building and they practicing social distancing, you don't have an option about not doing it. So that's what I'm talking about. Your options go away when your freedom is threatened. And that's what we're going through. That's what we're seeing firsthand because we don't have options with certain things. Right now on the internet, social media services are, censoring people and making rules that basically justifies them censoring people. So I don't usually look at my videos back unless they're short, like the long videos, not really. But I was looking back at something I did like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. And this was during the walkathon. And I was talking about how over-sexualization is being shown to our kids. And it's all muted. From the time I started talking about how our kids are being shown this over-sexualization in the music and stuff like that, there's no audio for like 20 minutes. And so this is what is happening. They're picking and choosing what they can do and what can we do but complain. But their rules are set up so that we complaining, but it's neither here nor there because it's part of their rules. And so the options are not there about this. Will we win? If I take them to court and say, well, they censored me and da 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 da, they're going to just go to their so-called new rules and say, well, this is what our rules say and da 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 da, and that's it, right? So therefore, our options are being taken away, and that's going on in every social media service, all the popular ones. So the ones that are most popular, the ones that most people go to, the ones that most people, use are the ones who are censoring people, and it's all right. But it's not all right. And because we're so, and I think it's that instant gratification that we like. And it's because I'm in this country, I can see it more. We're spoiled. Yes, we are U.S. folks and maybe other countries like the U.S. We're used to getting things immediately. You got a problem if a page is taking more than 30 seconds to load. You want your stuff now. So we got delivery service after delivery service. And if it's not there in half an hour, we complaining. I mean, that's how our culture is. And so we're clicking on agree to things on social media, not even reading the terms and conditions or whatever. So we agreeing to stuff because we don't want to take the time to read it. And even if we did sit down and read it, we still going to click agree because we want to be a part of this social media site that everybody's on, or that social media site is everybody. With the knowledge that they, the privacy is not there. I think TikTok is one of those sites where they have the power because of the rules that they set up. They got the power to access all your information, and that's why they were trying to ban it at one point in time. Because once you download TikTok, upload TikTok, they have access to all your stuff, and this is knowledge. This is known knowledge, and yet it's still being used. Everybody's still on it, even the folks who know this, or I'll say a lot of the folks who know this. And so it's interesting. Our freedoms are being taken away. We are just going with it like it's nothing, and it's kind of scary. So, but it's options. When you cannot go into a public place without getting your temperature scanned. That's an option being taken away. You don't have the option to go into this place without getting your temperature taken, right? And that's how it is a lot of places. And the craziest thing is now the taxis are getting involved in that. So you go flag a taxi cab. Some of them have the sanitizer. They're making everybody do the sanitizer before they get in the cab. Some of them have the signs on the cab that say no mask, no service. And some of them actually have the device to take the temperature. Now, for real. And so it's ridiculous. Some of it, the folks who really are fearful, they do it more than others. And it's just interesting. So now, if this catches on with these taxi cabs, then you won't be able to down, half a mile away without all these things going on, right? Not if you don't say anything about it. Not if you say, no, I'm not doing that. And that's the thing. If people don't say anything, it's going to continue and it's going to spread. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening. And so that's what's going on. That's what's going on. And it's a scary time. I say scary because it seems like there's no pushback and not enough people are saying anything about it. But people are seeing it right before their eyes. And, we have so much power as people together. And this is the time. If prevention is better than the cure. So you stop it before it's a problem or a bigger problem, rather than after everything is the way people are trying to make it. And then we trying to change things. And we know history has taught us that takes decades sometimes to change something that somebody implemented. Nobody fought back when it was going on and things were trying to get started and be a certain way. And then it was what it was. And then it took decades, centuries even, to change what was put into place. And so this is what's going on. And it's about options. That's what freedom equates to. And so those who are thinking about relationships, like really, like for real, I think everybody should be nofap and celibate at this moment in time, because we got bigger things to think about. We got bigger things to think about than pleasuring ourselves. Just so many things. And who wants to create another spirit to come through right now? And so, no, it's not about relationships. It could be about relationships. And same thing could apply, but I don't even want to go there because this is a greater picture, and it's all of our lives at stake in this, and our future generations and how they're going to live at stake in all of this. Our options are being taken away online, when we go do everyday things, our jobs, our culture is being affected. And what we doing, we just sitting around and watching it happen. A lot of us, I'm saying, not everybody. There's some people out there trying to protest, trying to speak up, trying to do what they can to make people aware and get people moving and doing something about it. But, just watching it happen is like we read about things in history and wonder, well, how did it get like this? This is us living history. How did things get so bad back in this certain period of time? All the horrible stuff was going on. People just sat back and just looked at things change and did nothing about it. That's how. And then things got to the point where we finally wanted to say something about it. It was too late. By then, so many were affected. By then, the world's turned upside down. And by then, it took years and years and years to make the changes. And usually that comes with war. This kind of thing that's going on right now, it's not a small thing going on. This is huge. This is affecting the whole entire planet. And so those of you who think about relationships, it's understandable because we all have relationships. It's part of our lives. But so our lives, as we know, is our kids, grandkids, and who knows how many generations. Lives can be affected by what's going on right this minute. And so what we gonna do about it? We just gonna sit around and watch it happen? Is that what we're gonna do? And then hope that once we go off into another realm that we can be effective when we're here right now in the physical. And it's no time like the present, right? And so that's what I'm talking about with options. That's how you can tell whether or not you have freedom and the amount of freedom that you have. And so that's all I've been saying. That's all I'm trying to say, because I know this kind of direct post is potentially going to be tampered with, potentially going to be censored, potentially going to be deleted even. So, and that's just one of the examples of what's going on. That when you start having to walk on eggshells, it's a problem. When you have to censor yourself because you can no longer say what you feel just outright because you know that your video may be tampered with. That's a problem. And that's what people are doing because the knowledge is there that this is happening. So fight is not going on, but then self-censoring is going on before they actually go back and then censor you more. So this is not a small situation. But I, like other people, are trying to get the word out without getting deleted and stuff, because being deleted is not going to get the word out, right? Being censored is not going to get the word out. So we got to figure out how to get this word out, how we know how we can. And so we're awake, we're aware, and we can, we can read between the lines. And unfortunately, that's what a lot of us have to do. We have to do that right now, and it's unfortunate, but that's a perfect example of what's going on. That's walking on eggshells. Speaking of relationships, if it was a relationship, it would be a sign of an abusive relationship to have to walk on eggshells, to not be able to be yourself, to not speak freely, to not be who you are. But it's okay because this is social media, and we want that advertisement check. We want those views to stay popping. We still want to, have our whatever's going on with us on social media. And so we adjust ourselves. And so it is really this time we live in history right now. We're not reading about something that happened, we're experiencing it. And an important time right now. And what we do is really important. And so, I feel like I needed to say that. Relationships are really not something, I'll talk about it, but really, as I see more and more what's going on, it's the furthest thing that I think anybody should be thinking about right now. We got bigger things to think about. So big. And so, yeah, that's it. Like, I'm sure that the likelihood of this being tampered with is high. And so, I'm going to see if I could make it, we'll see. We'll see. But that's all I wanted to say. And I had to introduce you to the bigger policy, but that, another time. They're always around. They sleep. They around here sleeping right now. But I hope you all are staying in good spirits,